Everyone on the roller coaster said, "Wee!" Your favorite?
That was my favorite.
Your favorite of those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ready? Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Aisha and this is XO Aisha Poe. And today I'm joined by my husband, very special guest.
Hi.
Today we're going to be reviewing our first time visiting 3 Disney parks. We're going to give you all the details, the rides that we rode, the food that we ate, and just like our review.
Fresh perspective.
So let's get started. And here's the intro.
It's been a while since we've been to Disney. The last time we went was like 12 years ago. We've been in Florida now for 5 years and we haven't been to Disney. Universal is usually our preferred park, but there was a deal on Florida resident passes and we decided, let's take advantage. Let's do it.
Yeah, and for you, you have been to Disney multiple times before in the past because you used to live in Florida before me. But for me, it's my first time visiting 2 out of the 3 parks. The first park we visited was Animal Kingdom. And the first thing we did when we got to Animal Kingdom was the ride Avatar Flight of Passage.
So cool. That's the whole reason we were there. Not for that ride, but for the Pandora section of the park. Whole reason we were there.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
It was a really, really cool ride. However, I thought it was going to be better. So for me, it was a little bit overhyped. I was not expecting for it to just be a 3D screen the entire time. I thought it was going to be more of like an animatronic kind of situation, plus the screen. So I was a little disappointed, especially because of where I got seated in the ride. It was just not the best experience for me. I will probably have to do it again to get a better experience.
Yeah, it was the very first ride that we did. We went straight to Pandora. We've heard that it's a popular ride, so we said, let's get it out of the way. And unfortunately, we got put at the very edge of the screen. So anytime you go watch a movie or you're riding one of these rides, being at the edges is not the optimal position. You want to be centered as much as possible. And unfortunately, we were at the very edge. So this produced some issues, both with her enjoyment and my enjoyment as well. Although I did enjoy the ride more than she did, I knew it was going to be a screen-based ride, but being at the very edge, I don't know if that's why, or if it's just because the ride is older, but to me, the images were a little blurrier than I would like, and that really interfered with my immersion into the ride. I think you also said that you had issues seeing like lights in the hallway.
Yeah, because I was the first person seated. I wasn't like immersed fully in the screen. I could see the edge of the screen, but also there was a light in the background that kept like bothering me, I guess. And when I would look back, it's just like a hallway that has nothing to do with the ride. But I mean, it is what it is. The queue line was really cool.
Yeah, I love the queue line. The theming in all 3 of the parks that we went to, but speaking specifically about Pandora, the theming was super cool. Going into like an RDA base that they have been working with the Na'vi, seeing little touches here and there of specific RDA things, being able to see an avatar in the hibernation pod, and the avatar is really cool. Like twitching and stuff. Super cool. I saw, they thought I wouldn't see it, but there was a Wally Easter egg. And we'll show you guys that as well. So, you know, overall the theme, cool. The ride, what would you rate it?
6 out of 10.
6. I feel like it gets lower every time I ask her that question. We went to go eat after that. And the place where we went to go eat was?
Satuli Canteen.
Yeah, I had a smoked chimichurri braised beef with boba and vegetables, little like vinaigrette bobas.
Yeah, and I had the cheeseburgers themed bao buns.
Bao buns. What'd you think about your bao buns?
I don't know why they call it cheeseburger, because there was no cheese in my burger.
There was no cheese.
The bao bun itself was great. It did have like a relish taste to it, which I'm not a fan of it, but I still ate it because we paid for it.
Oh yeah, the chimichurri beef was pretty good. It was flavorful. It came with like potatoes and sweet potatoes, and like I said, the boba. That was like a vinegar inside of the boba which I've never had boba like that before. But it's alien food, right? This is from Pandora. And it was cool. It was good. It was a very healthy and light meal.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, I would say most of the things that we ate were pretty light. Well, after we got done eating, we went to see the Festival of the Lion King stage show.
Super cool. Totally enjoyed it. This is a stage show where the audience comes in and they have 4 sections for the audience, like a compass. And then the show happens in the middle. Like the performers come in from the corners and all that. What did you think about the show?
I loved it. I loved Timon and Pumbaa. They were just hilarious, per usual. So they kept the audience entertained, and it was just a pretty good show overall.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought the performers, they had 4 lead singers. They did amazing. They did a medley of the classic Lion King songs that, of course, everyone knows and loves. They interacted with the audience. They pulled audience members out and had them do the sound for the animal that section represented.
Yeah.
But yeah, good show. Totally enjoyed it.
Overall, really good show, other than the fact that we were seated behind a bride with huge Mickey ears and we couldn't really see. But other than that,
Ridiculous.
9.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah, show itself.
Great show.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, and after that, we went straight to Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. What did you think of that?
That was the first real roller coaster that we did. And I think the only roller coaster of the day.
At Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it was a cool roller coaster. Again, the theming was very good. The theming is like, it takes place in Mount Everest, and you see like stuff from Sherpas. Sherpas are these tiny guys who go up the mountains where there's very little oxygen with like 100 and change on their back. But the ride itself was cool.
I enjoyed it overall. It was a little outdated. It's one of the original rides there, I believe, but it was fun. We had a blast. They could have used more voices or music or something during the ride, but other than that, it was pretty cool.
The ride is starting to show its age, but still, it's a pretty good roller coaster. We had fun. Everyone on the roller coaster said, "Wee!"
The one thing I would say that sucked about this ride experience, and amongst other rides, is the fact that we were waiting outside for the queue line.
Wild. It's very hot.
Very hot. And mind you, this was in April, end of April in Florida, and it gets really hot midday. So this was already midday, and we were
still sweating.
We were pretty steamy.
Sweating bullets.
Yeah, but that's my only complaint for that ride. So after we did Expedition Everest, we ended up going to Finding Nemo, the Big Blue and Beyond show.
I loved it. This might be my favorite thing that we did at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Going to the Finding Nemo show. This is another stage show, but this is more of a traditional stage show where the audience is sitting, where the audience sits, and the stage is like a 2D stage. But they have backdrops, and the backdrops are painted like blue, like it's water. I loved pretty much everything about this show. The voice actors were fantastic in capturing the essence of the movie voice actors. The puppeteering was out of this world.
Yeah.
The fish moved their eyes.
Yes.
And they moved their body.
Yeah.
Like the actors are holding the fish and doing that, but it's so good.
It's like they had emotions.
Yeah, super cool show.
Super cool.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. That I will give 10 out of 10 because Lion King I said 9.5 out of 10, but the reason I said 9.5 is because I feel like this one was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this was a better show. The Lion King show was still good.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, this was a better show than the Lion King show.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. After we did Finding Nemo, we headed towards the dinosaur ride. And on the way to the dinosaur ride, we stopped at the dinosaur lounge and we had some drinks. They were okay, but yeah, they could have been better.
Yeah, they left something to be desired, but we were very thirsty.
Yeah. So yeah, but we did end up going to the dinosaur ride after we had the drinks. Once again, the queue lines, I don't know. They need to do something about this because I feel like just for that reason, I would not want to get a pass.
Yeah, the outdoor queues are brutal, especially because we're here in Florida. Starting from April and possibly even earlier, it's very, very hot. I can't imagine going to Disney during the summer with that heat and waiting outdoors in the baking sun. There's like no umbrellas and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go June, July, August.
But what did you think about the ride itself?
So the ride itself, also I think a little outdated. I believe this is one of the rides that they're getting rid of soon. It was a little rough. It throws you around and you do not feel safe in this ride. But I feel like that's part of the thrill. Like, I had fun. It was a really fun ride.
It was more of a thrill ride than we expected.
Yes.
You're sitting in a little car, kind of like Spider-Man's Scoop in Universal's, and you're sitting in that car and it's just a seatbelt, and this thing really tosses you around as you're going through the ride, to the point where I'm like getting bodily tossed around and I had to like lock my feet in so that I could, feel like I'm in control. Because otherwise, I'm going to end up on top of the old lady that was seated next to me.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
Yeah, there was a couple of times that I had to like adjust myself because I feel like I was slipping under. And all we have holding us is a tiny little seatbelt. I don't know how that's safe. A lot of the rides are like that.
It was a cool ride.
It was a cool ride.
Very dark.
I love the animatronics though.
Yeah, very dark. And then out of nowhere, a dinosaur animatronic pops out at you and you're like, oh my God, dinosaur.
I can see how it could be scary for a little kid, but for us, we love this kind of stuff and it was fun.
It's a cool ride.
Yeah. Moving on from the dinosaur ride, we ended up heading to the Kilimanjaro safari, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it's always fun to sit on a bus and it takes you through a safari and you hope to see animals. At this point, it was probably around 4:35.
Yeah.
And the animals were already going away. We only saw a few, not a lot.
And it was hot, and we're outside in a bus.
We're waiting outside to get on the bus, and then when you get in the bus, there's no AC because it's
an open
windowless.
air.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just literally like a bus, and
you did get to see a baby giraffe though.
I got to see baby giraffes, and it was so cute.
7 foot as a baby.
Yeah, they're born 6 feet, I think, and then this one was already 7 foot. It must have been a few months old already. But I got to see baby giraffes. I got to see a baby elephant, and we got to see rhinos and
a bunch of other animals that I don't know the names of.
Weird names.
They were like uncommon named animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a safari.
Yep.
After that, we went to
eat at the Yak and Yeti restaurant, and that was amazing.
Very, very good food. This is a sit-down dining experience in Animal Kingdom with a mix of like Asian and maybe Thai kind of food.
Yeah.
They had a lot of variety and stuff. I had a dish that had scallops and shrimp and rice in like a coconut type curry. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I had a noodle bowl, a Cantonese beef noodle bowl. Delicious.
Very good. I tasted that as well.
Yeah, and we had drinks, and he ended up getting a drink that came with a shaker that you were able to take home, so that was pretty cool.
I have a souvenir shaker now.
Yeah, that's what was delicious and very filling. The portions were huge.
Oh yeah. Big portions.
Yeah.
And at this point, it was pretty late. It was what, around 5?
It was like at 5:30, yeah.
Like 5:30?
Yeah.
So we were hungry. It had been a long day.
Yeah. So after we got done eating, like I said, it's around 5:30. Park is about to close. The park closes at 6 because it's Animal Kingdom. I think they always close at 6 if I'm not mistaken because of the animals. There's no ending show, whatever. But there was one more ride that we wanted to do, and at this point we went to
the Navi River Journey.
Yes.
And that ride was, I think, your favorite?
That was my favorite.
That was your favorite of those?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I feel like this is what I was expecting for the Flight of Passage ride. I was expecting to see the beauty of Pandora World, and seeing animatronics and the music, like the whole experience. If they could have combined this boat ride with Flight of Passage, like if they could have done a mixture of both, to me that would have been an amazing ride.
Yeah, I liked it. To me, it was a short ride.
It was very short.
Once you do it, You're probably not going to do it a ton of times unless you have people who've never done it with you. But the animatronics, amazing. The atmosphere as you're going along the river and like looking at Navi, super cool. The screens that they had were a special type of screen where it gives you a simulated 3D effect without you having to wear glasses. So that was cool as well. Totally enjoyed that.
Yeah. This one was a great way to end the day. And I'm glad we got to do it. I have a friend that told me, if you get to do the boat ride, do it. But if you don't, it's not big of a deal. Yeah. I'm glad we got to do it. What was your favorite ride? Do you remember? Did you have one?
Probably Everest.
Because it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, because it's a roller coaster. But I enjoyed Flight of Passage as well. I thought it was cool for what it was. And I wish I could have gone when it was brand new and fresh and the projector was at full capacity and everything. So that would be mine.
Thanks for watching. Bye.